In this video, we will cover what do you mean by SSL Protocol Stack and what are the different types of protocols are available in the SSL stack. This is the pictorial representation of our SSL Protocol Stack. The first protocol is Record Protocol. Second one is Handshake Protocol. Third one is ChangeCipherSpecification Protocol. And the last one, Alert Protocol. All the protocols are in between the application layer and the transport layer. As you already know, SSL will be working on the transport layer. And this all SSL protocol stack is in between the application layer and the transport layer. The HTTP protocol is working on the application layer and TCP protocol is working on the transport layer. So all the SSL protocols are lies between the application layer and the transport layer. There are two layers are there in the SSL protocol stack. In the layer 1, there are three protocols, that is Handshake Protocol, ChangeCipherSpecification Protocol, and the Alert Protocol. And in the layer 2, there is one protocol, that is SSL Record Protocol. So this SSL Handshake Protocol, ChangeCipherSpecification Protocol, and the Alert Protocol, which is used for management of your SSL stack, and the SSL Record Protocol, which is used for providing the basic security to your application layer data. Now we will cover all these protocols in detailed manner. The first one is SSL Record Protocol. Our CIA trade is the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So from this CIA trade, that is our security tools, SSL Record Protocol provides the two services, that is confidentiality and integrity. So confidentiality is used for encryption purpose and integrity is used for taking the hash values from the data. So first of all, whenever we are sending the data from one network to another network, or else we are sending the data from one host to another host, that time they are taking your application data. This data will be divided it into different fragments. All these fragments are compressed with the help of lossy compression as well as lossless compression. And we are adding the message authentication code to compressed data. So our data is your compressed data as well as your message authentication code is added at the end of the data. Then your data will be encrypted and we are appending the SSL record layer to the encrypted data. And these whole packets will be transferred from one sender to another receiver. So we are maintaining the confidentiality and integrity with the help of encryption as well as compression technique. That is called as SSL Record Protocol. The second one is SSL Handshake Protocol. So handshake is nothing but we are establishing the session between the client and the server. This protocol allows to communicate between the client and server in authenticated manner. So there is the authentication between the client and the server. So server will authenticate the client and client also authenticate to server. And they are sending the messages to each other. So for creating the authenticated session between each other, they are using different phases. There are total 4 phases are there in the SSL Handshake Protocol. With the help of 4 phases, they can complete their cycle. The first phase is establishing the security capabilities. Second phase is server authentication and key exchange. In the third phase, client authentication and key exchange. And the last phase is, phase number 4 is finalizing the handshake protocol. So between this client and the server, this all phases will be done with the help of SSL Handshake Protocol. As we already discussed, there are total 4 phases in the SSL Handshake Protocol. In the phase 1, client will send client hello message to the server, and server is also sending server hello message to the client. Whenever client will send client hello message, that time they are sending SSL version number, CipherSpec message, and the session ID of that message. In case of SSL version number 0 is the lowest version and version number 3 is the highest version. SSL highest version is SSL version number 3. Whenever server will return the message, that time they are sending server hello message, which consists of encryption algorithm that is chosen from the CipherSpec as well as the compression algorithm. As we already discussed, SSL protocol is used for compression as well as the encryption purpose. So this is our phase number 1. So in case of phase number 1, both the users, that is client and server, is establishing the communication between each other by sending the client hello and server hello message to each other. In case of phase number 2, server will send his own certificate and the server key exchange to client, and they are establishing the communication between the client and the server. These are the 4 parameters they are sending from server to the client. The first one is server certificate, server key exchange, then client certificate request, and server hello done. So these are the 4 parameters will be sent from server to client. So whenever server sends this server certificate and its public keys, that time they are sending the authentication request in the form of server hello done. Server also sends the public encryption keys as well as our hello done message. And then our phase 2 will be completed. Once server sends server hello done message, that time our phase 2 will be completed. Now we have to proceed with our phase number 3. Now server has already completed with their server hello done message. In phase number 3, client will send the client certificate as that is requested by the server in phase number 2, as well as client key exchange message and certificate verified message to the server. In case of phase number 3, client will send their authentication certificate that is verified by the certification authorities, as well as they are sending the secret private key that is encrypted by previously in the server's public key, that is receiver's public key. Then our phase 3 will be completed. In the 3 phases, what we have done in the first phase, client and server will authenticate the session between each other. They are establishing the communication between each other by sending the client hello and server hello message. In case of phase number 2, server sends the server certificate to client as well as they are requesting for client certificate. In case of phase number 3, client will send the client certificate to the server that is requested in the phase number 2, as well as the certificate verification message to the server. And in the last phase, we have to end our connection by sending the change cipher specification message as well as client handshake finish message that will be sent from client to server as well as server to client. But server will send server handshake finish message. In the phase number 4, once client handshake finish and server handshake finish message will be sent, that time our all 4 phases will be completed and the session between the client and server will be closed. that is the handshake communication, will be closed between each other. See in this diagram, client will send change cipher specification and finish message to the server, and server is sending change cipher specification and finish message to the client. So this is our phase number 4 will be completed, and they are sharing the symmetric key between each other in the phase number 3. So client and server will share their symmetric key between each other, that is called as a shared symmetric key. So now we have done with our SSL Handshake Protocol. The next protocol is SSL ChangeCipherSpecification Protocol. This is our third protocol. This protocol is used for closing all the pending sessions, as well as this protocol is used for compression and encryption purpose, and the size of the protocol is 1 byte. Our last protocol is SSL Alert Protocol. This protocol is used for conveying the error-related messages to client as well as server. The size of the message is 2 bytes. The first byte is used for warning message as well as fatal error message, and the next 1 byte will be used for code. This is used for communicating the error between the client and the server. The error can be occur during the handshake as well as whenever we are processing the data from the server. This protocol is also used for compression as well as encryption purpose. So now we have covered all the protocols, that is SSL Protocol Stack.